welcome to British Literature 2. Brit Lit 2 here at Gaston College is the second Brit Lit class that we offer. And second does not mean sequence in this case. Second just means timeline. You do not need to take or pass Brit Lit 1 to take Brit Lit 2. Brit Lit 1 is basically the Roman invasion all the way through Shakespeare. Brit Lit 2 picks up chronologically with the Romantics, Victorians, and as close to present day as we can muster. Every course in Brit Lit 1 or 2 is called a little bit differently, but that's the general idea. Is it's broken down by chronology. We will reference things from earlier in British literature history. You may or may not be familiar with those. That is fine. Feel free to look them up or to ask questions as they arise. We'll also connect this class to American literature at various levels and various time periods, and world literature as well. And especially in Brit Lit 2, because of globalization, the world was never more connected than it was at that moment, in that moment. So we need to have it in context of its literature, culture, history of the entire globe as we move forward. And again, if you have any questions about the history of literature or any of the asides that are mentioned, feel free to reach out and ask me about them. I can provide more information as necessary. But I do want to take a moment today and look at the Blackboard course. This is a online class, and we will be doing the entirety of the class in the Blackboard shell. So we need to look and do a little guided tour to familiarize yourself with the pieces this semester. When you log into Blackboard and select our class, it should look more or less like this. I am making this video in the spring of 2024, but this video will remain in my courses until it just doesn't apply anymore, and I'll make a new one. So if you're seeing this in any other year, it's close enough. The first page that when you log into a Blackboard course, is the announcements page, which is what is facing you here. If you look at the top left corner of the navigation, you'll be able to return to announcements at any point. Under that is the Start Here module, which you only need in the first week to start the course, as the name implies. Under that is another link to the syllabus. The syllabus can be found at the syllabus link throughout the semester. It can also be found in the Start Here module throughout the semester. Faculty information just tells you more about me, office hours, how to get in touch with me by email. Under that is the modules. Modules is probably the most important tab this semester. This semester is divided into weekly modules, and they will be found here. We'll look at that in just a moment. Discussion board is important. We'll have a discussion board question nearly every week. They are graded. This discussion board link itself probably will not be available because the discussion boards will be linked individually in the modules where they are assigned. And we'll take a look at that in a moment. So starting at the Start Here module, back at the top, when you click on that, it's going to give you some information about the course. It will also show you a couple, like the videos you are now watching. You'll have already found it. The syllabus link is there so that you can read the syllabus. After reading the syllabus and looking through other information in this section, be sure to take the course entry quiz, which is a requirement to remain in the class. After you've looked through that, if you have any questions, please let me know. Once you successfully have looked through the syllabus, through the course expectations, the guidelines, and are satisfied that you understand it, you can move to Module 1. Module 1 is listed under Modules. These modules will be added to every week as we need them. Right now, all you can see is the first one. So that's what we need for our demonstration purposes. Under here, we also have optional modules for extra credit, information about plagiarism, information about the honors project if you would like to look at it, and then a glossary of literary terms in case you need to review. Looking at the Module 1 as kind of a quick example, as you log in, you'll find the image for the course. Those are sometimes there, not always. You'll see some objectives and overviews for what we're going to be doing in that week. You will find module outcomes, to-do lists. The to-do list will break down kind of an order that I suggest to do this in. Watch the videos, read the information, go through the lecture and notes folder, go through the assignments folder. And if there's any optional resources that we mark as optional resources toward the end of the steps, if you they feel like you need them. Not all modules have an optional folder in there, but sometimes they do. The readings will be linked specifically. This course does not have a textbook. There is not a standard e-textbook for this course being used this semester. We're going to be using a variety of online sources, which will make citations a little bit harder. We'll talk about them as we need them in the future weeks. The links will take you directly to the readings as you need them. And the links will open in a new window. So make sure that your pop-up blocker is not preventing tabs and e-texts from opening in a new tab or a new window. Besides the readings, which will be background material or primary sources, you also have lecture and notes. The lecture and notes folder is basically a replacement for in-class discussion, in-class lectures, and those sort of pieces. Sometimes they're text-based, sometimes they're videos, sometimes they're a combination of both. Every once in a while, there's a little bit of cartoon or image thrown in to mix it up. After you've read through the material, paid attention to the primary sources, and move on to the assignments. Most weeks only have one lecture and notes. This week does have, first week does have two currently. So make sure that there are several that you do all of them. Felt like I just needed to break up the background on reading and writing and then the background on other cultural components this week. Anyway, after you've looked at all the notes, then you can move on to the assignments folder. In the assignments folder, you should find a weekly discussion board note most weeks. If there is not a discussion board, there will be a post there that says no discussion board, so it'll be very clear. If it's missing, let me know. If you can't see it because of technical reason, let me know. There will be something there that says here's your discussion board or there is no discussion board. Also, if you have a short writing assignment due that week, then those instructions will be there as well. Looking at the discussion board, you can access that by clicking on where it says discussion board, then creating a thread. When you create the thread, it has the prompt for you, and then you apply below subject, paragraph responses to all parts of the prompt. Make sure you're responding to all parts of all the prompts, and then hit submit when you are done. Which I can do right now, which is fine. All discussion boards are expecting to be paragraph responses. All discussion boards are going to be due by noon Friday in the module in the week they are assigned. The short writing prompts typically need to be done in a week because they're fairly short and fairly fast, tied directly to the information. If we have a longer writing prompt, then you'll have multiple weeks to work on it. If it involves more research or more depth, then you'll have multiple weeks. This class does use MLA formatting, so double space, name in the top left corner, center the title, and works cited when we dig into it. Some weeks will want you to have a little bit of research. Some weeks will ask you just to cite the text that you were looking at that I provided. And then some weeks will just have expository ideas where you're building them from what you know already and your own ideas at that point. So that will be marked as part of the requirements, the guidelines. Always look at those guidelines. Most of them are just general tips that you should have picked up through English 111 and English 112, but double check to make sure there's nothing there that you need to pay attention to. You'll also have submission guidelines that say you need to turn it as a .doc or .docx file. That makes it a Microsoft style file. That ensures that Blackboard will show it to me, and if I can read it, I can grade it. If you try to do it in another file format, I probably won't grade it. Often those formats do not work well with Blackboard. I cannot read them. I cannot note them the way that I need to in grading. So if I can't grade them, I can't grade them. Then you'll receive a 0. So be sure that you're creating all work as a .doc or .docx file, the file types native to Microsoft Word. For assignments, since we have one here in the first week currently, for assignments, once you've read and created this in your word processing program, make sure to save it properly. Then you click on the title for the assignment, which repeats the same information, shows you the due date a little bit clearer in case you need it. Also shows you the points value. Smaller essays are worth 10 points, longer essays are worth more. The midterm and the final will be worth more than. Okay. The assignment then needs you to upload the assignment. So you finish the assignment, go down to where it says upload files, browse your local files or your cloud files, your contact files, wherever it is your files are living. Go find the Word document that you want to submit. Make sure it is properly a Word document and make sure it is properly the document that you intend for me to grade. Then we'll check that. If that is sufficient and that is the assignment you would like to turn in to be graded, then hit submit at that point. You can only hit submit once. It should let you know that it is submitted. This class will have a midterm and a final. Both of those will be cumulative. Midterm from the first half of the course and draw information together from the first half of this course. And then the final exam will be asking you to bring together information from the entire course into a synthesis and have ideas present at the end. Both of those pieces will be explained in time, 8 weeks and 16 weeks from now, respectively, in a full semester. So we'll discuss that as we need it. As far as a quick overview, the announcements, the start here, the module layout, expectations, it's going to move as a weekly unit. This class is, of course, very discussion heavy and very lecture heavy in a traditional sense, which means that it's going to be ripe with notes and videos, trying to replace that. If you have questions about the material or questions about how the material is delivered, please reach out to me and let me know. We will be in this class together for the entirety of the 16 weeks. If you have questions, I have answers. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.